The visuals of today's Jimquisition are made up almost entirely of games from Devolver Digital's library, because Devolver Digital universally allows its games to be played on YouTube and then allows YouTubers to monetize them. I don't monetize the Jimquisition, but it's the principle of the fucking thing. So Devolver Digital, they're pretty good. That's how promotion works. So, Electronic Arts recently instituted a new way of dealing with the ever-thorny issue of YouTube Let's Players and whether or not they deserve money for the videos they make. This past week, EA revealed the Creators Program, a revenue-sharing scheme in which you apply to share the ad money you make from your YouTube videos with EA itself, or rather, they'll kindly share it with you. You'll get 60% of the ad revenue off any video you register personally with EA, or 70% of the money if you decide to register your entire channel and let Electronic Arts profit off every video you upload. EA's program only lets YouTubers upload distinct games from a list of their choosing and tells content makers they're not allowed to use footage from games they don't explicitly permit. Bear in mind the list leaves out a large portion of EA's library, limiting what you can actually upload and effectively controlling the content on your channel while raking in a portion of the cash. Oh, and if you don't opt into this program, well, good luck uploading any more EA videos from now on. Now, EA didn't actually do any of the above. Nintendo did, but because some people tend to give Nintendo a free pass on everything, I figured I'd explain the Creators Program as coming from a more universally loathed publisher to let the rose-tinted among us get a sense of what it really is. Nintendo has had a long history of not getting it when it comes to YouTube and the new age of transformative work, claiming videos from anybody, even if they use a few seconds of publicly distributed trailer footage. Nintendo claims its behaviour was simply to abide by YouTube's rules, which is kinda bollocks since many other publishers, including Devolver Digital here, have explicitly allowed all their games to be played and monetized by YouTubers. Nintendo could have done that, but instead they uniformly claimed the ad revenue of people's videos and held up its hands as if it couldn't be helped. So now Nintendo has unveiled a Creators Program, presenting the previously withheld ad revenue as a gift to video makers. What this basically is a publisher taking your shoes away and then saying, oh hey, we've spent ages working out a way to give you one of these shoes back. We're very, very generous people, give us those fucking laces. While other publishers have no problem with YouTubers and the coverage they provide, Nintendo is pretending that getting directly in bed with games media is the only way this will work, a murky prospect for a lot of reasons. As a critic, the idea of effectively signing terms of employment with a video game publisher is beyond fucking gross to me. And as far as I can tell, there's no distinction between whether you're a critic or an entertainer or a reviewer, whatever you call yourself. Nintendo wants you to shake hands and make compromises on your coverage if you're uploading game footage to YouTube. And even for those who do just brand themselves as entertainers, let's not forget that YouTubers are tastemakers now. They are the new front of games media. The idea of publishers sinking their tendrils into the medium is something we should be unsettled by. We already saw what can happen with the Shadow of Mordor controversy, and things like this are just another shaky foot in the door, especially if other publishers do follow in Nintendo's footsteps. More to the point, I have to agree with PewDiePie when he says that for most YouTubers, their subscribers are theirs. Okay, it's not Nintendo's. The audience is there for them. People subscribe to Angry Joe because they're fans of Angry Joe. They subscribe to Boogie because they're fans of Boogie. They subscribe to me because they don't have better things to do. A YouTuber does not need to be screwed over by a publisher like this when there are many, many others out there who recognise the potential benefits of just letting YouTubers do their thing independently. For Nintendo to claim such a large chunk of the revenue to effectively offer comparable or worse terms than a YouTube multi-channel partner, while simultaneously being a publisher that shouldn't be sharing money with the media, is arrogant at best, and I'm glad to see some prominent YouTubers say no, while declaring that Nintendo just became a low priority at best when it comes to showing their games off, if not entirely refusing to cover their games from now on. Because there is no winning here. Nintendo has restricted what YouTubers can cover and wielded what I feel is an unreasonable amount of control over coverage. YouTubers that don't comply will have Nintendo simply seize all the revenue available, while those who do comply will be told what they can cover and have to receive their cash from Nintendo like it's a goddamn allowance. Meanwhile, many of the bigger YouTubers will simply say fuck it and kick Nintendo off their radar entirely because they're quite frankly bigger and more important than this, so Nintendo will miss out on basically tons of potential audience exposure. And none of it had to happen. While other publishers are riding the wave of YouTube success, where great games can become cult classics through those personalities who take to them and display a genuine love for their production, Nintendo is doing its best to claw and grasp at the straws of market control. Nintendo has a lot of community love, quality games, and a pedigree that has been well deserved. Because of those things, Nintendo may feel it's above YouTube and it can set its own terms because it's fucking Nintendo. And you know, that may be true on some level. Nintendo doesn't need YouTubers, but when you imagine how much more Nintendo could benefit and how we all could benefit if it just left the fuck alone, well, there's no way to rule this but as an absolute failure. One myth that I need to dispel, and I seem to need to dispel it all the bloody time, is that this affects more than just Let's Players. People online in reaction to this stuff love to pontificate about what they believe Let's Players deserve. Those people who just sit around playing video games and filming themselves. No. Funnily enough, the Let's Play stuff I do, the Squirty Play series and the Early Access Squirt, very, very rarely ever get flagged. Funnily enough, the stuff that takes the most original content, the most editing on my part, is the stuff that gets flagged the most, incidentally the most popular stuff. Ever since starting Jimquisition on the Jim Sterling channel just a few months ago, a lot of them have been flagged. Even though I don't monetize this series on YouTube, I get emails from YouTube anyway saying I'll never be able to put ads on them because Take-Two have claimed them, because Nintendo have claimed them. And it's often because I use little bits of trailer footage which are given to press to upload on their own behalf and monetize anyway. So no, it isn't just people who sit around playing video games. A lot of Let's Plays themselves are allowable, but these publishers will claim anything, and including the Jimquisition, including when I did top 10 videos, sort of comedy parody top 10 videos, anything, even if it uses stuff that's publicly been distributed to press for years. So think about that next time you sit there on your high horse and try and tell YouTubers that they don't have real jobs, which is a stupid idea anyway and just buys into the idea that the 9 to 5 is the only job worth having, which just plays into the hands of people who create those 9 to 5 jobs to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. So thank God for me.